Lewis Wall.
Kia ora, Mr Speaker. Thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute to this debate. As a member of the Health Select Committee, I firstly want to take the opportunity to congratulate the Honourable Winston Peters for his bill and also to acknowledge Barbara Stewart, one of my colleagues on the Health Committee, who was the original proponent of this piece of legislation. I want to read a quote. That quote says, "Our vision is for a society where people can age positively, where older people are highly valued and where they are recognised as an integral part of families and communities. New Zealand will be a positive place in which to age when older people can say that they live in a society that values them, acknowledges their contributions and encourages their participation." This is from Older New Zealanders, healthy, independent, connected and respected. It's from the Office of Senior Citizens and it's dated October 2013 and it's part of New Zealand's positive ageing strategy. One of the interesting components of the strategy is actually about health. And so if you go to that particular document, what it says in its first bullet point actually is about supporting support to stay well. And so the 55,000 New Zealanders who are over 65, this government and this strategy commits to supporting over 65s to stay well. But when you actually look at how they define how older people are supported to stay well, there's a big focus on the high-use health card, and one of my colleagues across the House mentioned that earlier. Now, in fact, only 14,300 of those 55,000 65 plus benefit from the high-use health card. That's only 2.6% of the New Zealanders who would qualify under this piece of legislation for visit to a doctor. I concur with all of my colleagues on this side of the House who have contributed today. If older people have an opportunity to go to the doctor, which actually is about a wellness focus, it's about prevention, and we heard a lot of that focus in the Health Select Committee today, given we had the Minister talk to us about the Healthy Families Initiative. So this government have got a huge commitment in primary health and working with communities and preventing their need for secondary and tertiary intervention. And it seems that this is a policy idea that actually has some merit. And I would have thought that as a reasonable House, we would actually send this piece of legislation to a select committee where we can have the discussion and the debate that we've had tonight. Because actually finding all the holes in this piece of legislation, picking on drafting issues, actually isn't constructive. We all have a vested interest in this House to ensure that everybody, and particularly our older people, if it means that having 3 hospital visits every year prevents them from going to hospital. So a $35 cost, which is a hospital visit, actually pays for 45 older people to have a GP visit as opposed to a one-night stay in hospital. It costs us $1,400 for older people to stay in hospital for one night. If you have pneumonia, the average stay is 10 days. If these 3 visits can prevent an older person over 65 from getting pneumonia and going to hospital for 10 days, I would have thought that this House would have wanted to debate the merits of this particular policy proposal. And so what I am saddened to say is actually this is about the money. And fundamentally it's about priorities. And so just because it wasn't the government's idea, why aren't they actually allowing us to have the debate, to do what we did through the inquiry that focused on the needs of young people? I'm a bit sad because I think this is a member's bill that warranted serious consideration by this House, and if it could prevent older New Zealanders going to hospital and actually contributing to an efficient and an effective health system that we're all committed to achieving, then this is a sad day. Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker.